What's up, YouTube? CharminEXSoft here, coming at you guys with a brand new Friday the 13th of game video. And today, we're going to be breaking down the brand new update in the virtual cabin, and that is for the counselor's room. Now, last week, we did go ahead and show you Jason's room, along with some brand new hidden secrets that they had last week, which would be the two unlocks. One can be found in the main cabin area, and the other would be found down in Jason's room. Just to refresh your memory, right here on the sign, you can see these are the two unlocks that we found last week, and if you have not seen that video, then please be sure to go ahead to my channel and check that out. I'll be linking it at the back end as well. That would be my hidden secrets video for Jason's room in the virtual cabin. So if you haven't seen it, go ahead and check that out. So we went ahead and we started that off. We've already got those unlocked here, and we are going to go into the counselor's room and find the other three. Actually, there's three more. I went ahead and teased on Twitter about one, but there is a total of three in that room. But before we go in there, I just want to show you one cool thing too. The piano has had an update. As you can see, that is the same tone that was there last week, but if you give it a couple seconds afterwards, you push the button again. Alright, you can see that we got another little composed tune right there from the Friday the 13th movies right there with Terry Manfredini, so that is a pretty cool little update to the piano. But without further ado, let's go ahead and check out the counselor's room. Now, just so you guys know as well, when we're entering in here, it is about 3 a.m. in the morning, and I'm kind of doing this as a commentary gameplay, so if I start slurring and stumbling over my words, I am sorry, but it is really, really late here, and I'm trying to get this video done for you guys, as you guys are blowing my Twitter up, which is awesome, by the way. I do appreciate all of you guys' support, and I appreciate all the little photos and stuff you guys have been sending me, along with all the photos you guys have been sending me throughout the last couple of weeks, talking about the other Easter eggs that I have not found yet, like, you know, the red wagons and stuff like that. There's a couple people have spotted a couple red wagons. I'm still looking for one more that somebody has apparently spotted in Freddy vs. Jason. I haven't found that one yet, but you know, as soon as I figure out which wagon that it's from, whether it be from 2, 3, or Freddy vs. Jason, I'll be letting you guys know on Twitter, and I will also be tweeting out the people who let me know about this. So we will be trying to narrow that down. Maybe it might be a mass tweet with showing all of them and giving all credit. We'll have to figure that out. But as you guys can see, this here is the counselor's room. Some cool stuff around here, guys. Just showing you a little bit of stuff here before we start pointing out the actual hidden stuff and the Easter eggs. A couple counselors and stuff. As you can see, we have some signs that are reserved, so that means we're going to be having, you know, the other counselors as they're made being added into the cabin. Pretty neat stuff. Alright, so let's get on to the secrets right here, guys. So the first one right here was this was the very first one that I found. This is the photo that I tweeted out on Twitter, showed the unlock for this. I will show you which hieroglyph or not that it unlocks in the chart as well. There you go. So you heard it. So that is the brawl unlock. You can hear that little click at the end. All right. Also, I believe this is a reference, just so before we go out there, I think this is a reference to Friday the 13th Part 5, when the two had sex on the blanket in the woods, and she ended up getting her face or her eyes cut out, I guess you could say, by Jason with the hedge clippers. Now, I don't believe she wore a bra. I can tell you that right now. The way that she was dressed, I don't think she wore a bra. But the blanket does match the scene, and you could say that the bra itself is a representation of sex on the blanket, and of course we have the kill sound, so that just kind of makes sense right there. So I'm gonna have to say Friday the 13th Part 5 for the blanket. But let's go ahead and check out which hieroglyph, or knot as I would call it, since that is a knot chart that it did unlock. All right, here we go. As you can see, we have a total of 3 now. 2 from last week, 1 from this week, but there is 2 more. We're going to have 5 by the end of this, guys. All right, so that is the first one. The next one should have been probably the easiest one to find, And I tell you, it stressed the heck out of me because there was people, well, actually, Mad Eye, he is the one who directed me to this. I went to this lifesaver ring a million times. I mean, I went up to everything, just staring at stuff, you know what I mean? Just trying to get everything on there, centered, whatnot, and nothing was working. And when Mad Eye Ukiah, I believe it is, I'm sorry, I can never pronounce some names like that. When he went out and tweeted me a photo, I noticed he had another unlock that I didn't. And I was like, hold up, I've stared at everything. Like, what the heck is going on? And he told me this lifesaver ring, and I was like, you got to be kidding me, because I've stared at it forever and a day and never works. But once again, as I've told you guys in my last video, you have to get it centered. So if for any reason any of these unlocks are not working for you guys, make sure you're getting them centered. You know, don't do what I did. I know better, and I still was not getting them centered. So that lifesaver ring was a very, very tricky one. Make sure you get it centered, let it sit there for a while, and then you will go ahead and get the next unlock, which is the symbol for the number 3. So that is 2 right there, my friends. Now we have one more, and this one is technically the hardest in my opinion. But, you know, I just had some technical difficulties with that lifesaver ring. Again, huge shout out goes out to Mad Eye Ukiah, I believe it is. I'm sorry if I'm butchering it, man. But I know he's going to be starting up a YouTube channel here before too long. So, you know, as soon as I get his channel information put down there, I believe it's just going to be Mad Eye Ukiah, he said. Then you guys can go ahead and be sure to check him out. All right, so this next one here I found when I entered in the cabinet right here. As you can see, the cabinet can be walked through. Now, what's cool about the cabinet being walked through is it's kind of more so like showing you how you will be able to see out of different things when you're hiding them in the game, I feel. But the one really cool thing that I had noticed when I was in there moving around is you will actually see something here. Okay, if you're not seeing it, look at that log. On the very side of that log, you can see that there's something on it. It's dark. It doesn't look like the rest of the log. So when we go ahead and we get closer, what do we see? It looks like writing. So again, try to get everything in the center. There we go. Hear the click? And that, my friends, is the third one. Jimmy's a dead fuck. I mean, sorry for the language. That's what it says. But if you don't know where that's from, that is from Friday the 13th, Part 4. Okay, this is when Teddy was making fun of his friend for being what he considered a lousy lay, I should say. So, as you can see, when you look at that, you will then unlock the final mark that I believe is the final mark for the counselor's room. But, you know, maybe there's other ones. And that will give you the full board for what I feel is right now. Again, this is only my opinion. There could be more out there. So do not stop searching if you are searching, because I'm not going to stop searching. Excuse me. Again, I'm tired. I don't mean to jumble up my words, but I'm not going to stop searching. This is just what I've come up with for now. We have 3 unlock markers in the counselor's room. Now, let's go on to the Easter eggs, shall we? Looking at those movie references and whatnot. And the first one I want to show you right here, which is really cool, cracked me up, was Demons Damn Enchiladas. Now, you'll never find this picture in the movies, but it is a reference to a whole scene of events that took place in Friday the 13th, Part 5. And it's really funny. If you guys remember Reggie the Reckless, now, he was Demon's little brother. Okay, he went to go see Demon, went out in the van and whatnot, and when he came into town, and Demon first offered him some enchiladas. Now, after Reggie went ahead and left with, I can't remember the woman's name, but her and they were trying to go ahead and get Tommy back and get him back in the truck and go home. Demon's sitting there with his girlfriend, and he had said, "Damn enchiladas," and started going, ooh, and ran out of the freaking truck, or the van, and had to go use the crapper. So they were running through them. And the ooh baby part on this, as you can see in the center, is a reference to the song that his girlfriend was singing to him, and he was singing with her while he was taking a dump. So it's kind of a funny whole reference right there. Is demons, damn enchiladas, ooh baby. I mean, it's pretty cool. Again, you'd have to know the movie, you'd have to know the scene in order to pick that up, because you're not going to find it in the movie particularly. It is a reference to a really funny scene in the movie, though. So again, that's Friday the 13th, Part 5, my friends. All right. Moving on down, we have a sleeping bag with the Camp Crystal Lake sign. The Camp Crystal Lake sign right here is a reference to Friday the 13th, Part 1, of course. This is the nice decorative version right here. It's not all withered, banged up, or anything like that. It's freshly painted. You can see, as in Part 1, when they were renovating and making everything look all nice, because they were reopening Crystal Lake. So that is a pretty cool thing right there. This is going to be a reference to Friday the 13th, Part 1, when they were reopening Camp Crystal Lake. All right. This shelf right here is from Friday the 13th, Part 3. There's a lot of references from Part 3 in Higgins Haven I've been able to find, and this is one of them, you know, the deer head shelf. The picture that I'm showing you is a bit dark. I'm very sorry for that. It looks a lot better when you're actually watching on Blu-ray or whatnot. Taking the screenshot and showing you guys is a little bit harder to see it. It's very dark, but it is the reference nonetheless. Now, these boards here, if you guys don't know what these are, these would be the floating docks from Friday the 13th, Part 1. Now, there was a scene where they were kind of pulling one out there when one of the counselors was faking to be drowning and whatnot. Well, actually, this was right before that, but that is what these are right here, is the floating dock pieces that they were building out there in Friday the 13th, Part 1. And we also have the water ladder. Now, we have the lifesaver again from Part 1, as I've shown you guys before, that was used to poorly rescue that supposed drowning lifeguard. And then we have the canoes. The canoes, I would have to say, is a general reference. I can't narrow down one particular movie, as they have been in a lot of Friday the 13th movies. There's been canoes in Part 1, Part 2, Part 3. There's been canoes for Freddy vs. Jason. There's been canoes all over the place in Friday the 13th movies, so we will just use this as canoes as a general reference for Friday the 13th, as it would be insanely crazy to try to truly narrow them down. All right. Now, as I've already told you here, the blanket, once again, is a reference from Friday the 13th, Part 5, when the girl got her face cut open by Jason with the pruning shears or whatnot. So I can't narrow down the bra once again. I don't think she was wearing a bra, but Friday the 13th, Part 5 for the blanket, I would say. Now, the board back here with the friendliness and sportsmanship, integrity, courage, self-reliance, and tolerance, and all that stuff. This is all about Friday the 13th, Part 6, I believe it was. This is when Jason was walking into what is known as Camp Forest Green, which was Camp Crystal Lake. So when they renamed it Forest Green in Part 6, this was the sign that was out front that you see Jason walking by. So pretty neat right there. Now, this hammock on the wall is from Friday the 13th, Part 3 in Higgins Haven. This was Chris Higgins' bed, and she offered up her room for her friends to go ahead and sleep in, and told them that, you know, the hammock is what their bed is. Now, this picnic basket right here, I don't believe is a picnic basket. I truly believe this as well is from Friday the 13th, Part 3. I think this is a laundry basket, as what it looks like in the picture from the Higgins Haven house, as it's the only place I really find this at, and this is a freaking huge picnic basket. I mean, look at the size of this. You would be feeding a small army here with a picnic basket of that size. So I don't think that this is truly a picnic basket, but I do believe it is a laundry basket from Friday the 13th, Part 3 in Higgins Haven, with some condiments and plates put inside it. Okay. Now, the bench, it could be a general thing. Maybe Part 2. I honestly have not found it yet. I'm going to be kind of doing a marathon tomorrow, sitting down watching some Friday the 13th movies. So if I find it, I'll be sure to tweet this one, as I do not really know where it's from right now. I know on Part 3 it was a swing set that was on the porch, so I don't really think it's this in Part 3, but I will be looking for the bench nonetheless, or maybe it is just a general type item. That is a very high possibility as well. Now, the life preservers and the lifesaver, once again, we would say part 1. You remember seeing the life preservers on the lifeguard's shack or tower that was out there, along with the lifesaver. And the archery targets would also be from part 1 as well. I thought this was going to be one of the references for one of the hidden secrets, like looking at them for, the kill unlocks on that knot chart. But unfortunately, it was not. But there is some references to the archery targets in Friday the 13th Part 1. Now, when we come over to this here, we will see these trophies. These trophies are the same trophies that we saw down in the basement. I still have not been able to narrow this down, but a lot of you guys have been sending me tweets of different trophies throughout the Friday the 13th movies. Particularly, there has been some trophies spotted in the 2009 remake, but I have to kind of debunk those ones because those were archery ones, and as you can see by the guy at the top, he appears to be more like a baseball player. It's really hard to see for you guys, but there's a stick that he's kind of holding up there, and the bottom one looks like, I don't know, like a swimmer or a dancer or something. I can't figure that one out, but it is definitely not archery, so I'm going to have to turn that one down. There is a lot of trophies in Part 7, as people keep telling me, and yes, there is. There is a lot of trophies in Part 7, but in that freaking entire room there with Tina, all of those trophies are bowling trophies. So once again, we are still at large here for the trophies, guys. We have not found the trophies, so I'm still looking for that. Or maybe we have. Maybe these could be a general reference to trophies in general in Friday the 13th. And if they are a reference in general to trophies in Friday the 13th, I would have to say Part 7. But personally, I am still on the hunt. I'm not willing to concede and say the general yet, because I think that there may be a reference to a baseball player, and maybe whatever that one is. I don't know. We'll have to see. All right. Now, the next one here is the cabinet. This cabinet is from Friday the 13th, Part 3. This is a reference to the cabinet that Shelly was hiding in the Higgins Haven house when he was faking to be dead with the axe in his head, and where Chris Higgins had found him. So that is what this cabinet is a reference to. Again, if you want to go in it, you could just literally walk right through it so you can see what it looks like on the outside. If I can figure out where the heck I am in here. Oh, there I am. Okay. So again, you can walk right through so you can see what it kind of looks like as if you were inside looking out. Now, the last one right here is a mask. Now, it looks really big. It's kind of set out to be awkward, but this, my friends, is also the mask from Friday the 13th, Part 3, found in the Higgins Haven home again. Once again, you guys can see there's a big trend going on here with a lot of Higgins Haven memorabilia references, furniture, things of that nature. And I do believe that is because of all the time and work that they put into, duplicating and making the Higgins Haven home and whatnot. So, of course, we're going to find a lot of different furniture and things of that nature from the Higgins Haven home. So, all right, that's pretty much covering it in Easter eggs. Let's go ahead and check out these counselors, shall we? Now, right here, you can see we have the athletic girl. Looking pretty cool. Taking a little load off, sitting down here on our chair. Sorry if the camera's a bit jumpy. Still going to need a little bit of optimization, I think. But we are getting it all worked out. Next one here we have is the head counselor. This is going to be probably one of my favorite characters that I want to go ahead and play in the game. There's actually 2 counselors from the 10 that we have heard about. Well, we haven't heard of all 10 yet, but we know there's supposed to be 10 at launch that I am really intrigued in playing, and that would be the head counselor here. I do believe, in my personal opinion, he needs a longer beard. He needs a huge beard. He needs to be the bearded grizzly man like myself and Randy Greenback, who both have massive beards. We need to go ahead and do something about that. Make him a big grizzly man. And then we have the bookish girl, who I also am eager to try to play. I think the bookish girl and the head counselor, in my personal opinion, are going to be my 2 favorites, at least as for right now, if what I told you guys about in the counselor breakdown video ends up being true about how they should be modeled and everything. The bookish girl appears that she's going to be probably more stealthy, whereas the head counselor, I believe, the way it's sounding, is that he's not going to generate fear as much. So that's something that's going to be pretty cool as well to kind of watch out for with him. So these two are going to be a high interest for me, but that is, again, if they make them the way that their little text blocks had said by the concept art. None of that's confirmed. You know, we would just have to wait and see. But that is what the right direction they were going. And right here, what we're looking at is the preppy guy. We saw him in the Friday the 13th gameplay reveal video for E3. So we are pretty familiar with what he looks like, but that is him sitting right there, and all's in his little lonesome and whatnot. But that is him. Now, you also see there are reserved spots. What does that mean? Well, that means that the other counselors have yet to be revealed. I mean, we do know a couple other concepts that are out there, and we do know a couple of different other counselors, but they just haven't finished their look and design, is what we're basically seeing here. And as soon as they do, then they should be added in the cabin, which I will be sure to bring you the update video for that when it does happen. As of right now, there is no more new Jasons down in the basement, so that's why you're not seeing that basement right now. If you guys want to see the Jasons that are down there, then please go ahead and check out my Jason Voorhees room video, the last one I did. But before we go, I just want you guys to take note. If you're looking at the plaques here when it comes to reserve, if you guys have been following my videos for a while, you will know that Wes Keltner told me that there's 10 counselors confirmed for launch on day one. Doesn't mean you'll be able to play all of them like immediately or anything like that. You know, we do have to unlock some here and there. We know there's a counselor clothing pack, but if you count the signs here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 signs. 7 signs. All right. And how many counselors do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Did I count that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He makes 8, makes 9, makes 10, and makes 11. So we know we have 10 confirmed counselors on day one, but we truly have 11 signs sitting here. So what could that mean? Maybe they're adding a new counselor? Possibly. Or maybe, just maybe, we may be getting Tommy Jarvis. I know a lot of you guys have been wanting Tommy Jarvis. You know he was a stretch goal. You know we missed that stretch goal by like $2,000. There's nothing confirmed that says that we're not getting Tommy. All they keep saying is that we did not reach the stretch goal, but we'll see what we can do. That does now, don't jump to conclusions, guys. I'm not saying that Tommy's coming. I'm not saying he's coming at all. We don't know. But all we do know is that they're not saying he's not coming either. They're saying, we'll see what we can do. You know what I'm saying? So maybe this is a hint to Tommy popping up here. One of the things to remember, though, is that Tommy Jarvis was not a counselor. This is the counselor room. Another thing is, if you guys knew about how Tommy was supposed to work in the game, if you did a little bit of research, you would have found that Tommy, it did not appear that he was going to be playable, so I can't confirm whether or not he would or would not be playable. But the way it was almost written is that it seemed like Tommy would be an asset, that if you found him during a match, then he would kind of help you in the fight against Jason and finding stuff and all that kind of stuff like that. So could Tommy show up in this room? Maybe. I don't know. Will he be playable in the game? Maybe. I don't know. Will he even come to the game? Maybe. I don't know. But all we do know is there's 11 spots that need to be filled in this cabin. We currently have 4, and we're missing the other 7. So we are missing a person basically in our count when we think of 10. There's going to be 1 extra, and who could that be? So make sure you guys go ahead and put your thoughts down in that comment section down below. Who you think could possibly be that 11th person, or do you think it could be Tommy Jarvis? We will just have to wait and see. Anyway, guys, hope you all enjoyed the video, and I hope it helped you out. Again, please feel free to go ahead and slap that like button down below, and don't forget to subscribe to join the Charmin today. And you guys are more than welcome to go ahead and comment below and follow me on Twitter to stay up to date with one of my YouTube videos. I'm CharminEXSoft, and as always, thanks for watching, and y'all come back now, you hear?